Mainly because we make it a problem. There's a lot of kids that are neglected by their parents, and because of that, they don't look for the signs and symptoms of depression. They see their kids sad and they don't want to see them that way. So what do? They go to the doctor and they get them, a prescription and call it depression.
Everyone goes through things, and they go through it very differently. Whether it's a relationship, a death, money situation, relationships, or you just don't see yourself going anywhere at the moment.
I think depression is in our society because a lot of people go through a bunch of things in life that sometimes people can't share, that you just can't put out in the world, so you keep them to yourself, and it's just basically demons you're fighting alone. You can't really fight them with any help because you feel helpless.
Any sign of sadness that these kids have, they label depression. The parents don't want to take time out of the day a lot of the time.
Depression affects society everywhere. We don't notice it, sometimes don't even acknowledge it at times. Some people, they let their friends be sad, and they just let them deal with it themselves. And there's some people that will go out of their way to, hey, how are you feeling today? Or, oh, I hope you have a nice day. It's hard to answer. I don't understand depression or mental problems, or why doctors give antidepressants and anxiety medication. Even though we are advanced in medication, how is this medication gonna stop this depression? Or how is it going to stop the anxiety?
They're giving you a happy pill. Take this happy pill, you feel happy for a couple hours, days, maybe months. But when that effects wear out, what do?
Are you gonna take another antidepressant or another anxiety medication to make yourself feel better? Because you're depressed, or your anxiety is really high and you need antidepressant or an anxiety medication to kind of calm those thoughts down. The medication and the technology we have today for depression and anything like that,
The problem is the side effect.
I personally have come to find that it's made my depression worse rather than actually better itself.
It blocks his neurons in his brain, and these chemicals that are being released in your brain are just causing sadness. And if you block that, it just builds up and builds up, so that when you don't have that, medicine to block those chemicals from making you feel depressed, it's just gonna be like a wall breaking open with a ton of water behind it.
It's unbelievable that
Even with all the medical advances and technology and everything, depression can't be cured through medication. It really cannot.
talking is a much better resource to making yourself feel better and overcoming the situation or whatever is killing you inside.
And even in today's society, our medication is top of the top. There's always side effects, and the side effects are what the medication is trying to prevent. It's just only making it worse.
A lot of people don't understand that you can't take pills, you can't go through therapies, you can't take medication basically in order to cure depression.
I don't know if I have depression. How can I say I have depression? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything. I can't say I'm depressed. I can say I am sad, I can say I'm happy.
It was beginning of high school year, freshman year to be exact. A lot of people thought that I was like a happy, smiley person. In reality, it was just a bunch of dark thoughts going through my head. Things I couldn't battle, things I would just lose my mind to, suicidal thoughts, and a bunch of just sadness that would creep out of nowhere.
Late at night when you're up at 2 a.m., maybe the thought might just pop up in your head that, like, my grandpa's not here today. Like, oh, like I'm so broke right now and I can't do things.
I felt helpless most of the times. I couldn't focus in school. I couldn't do anything right. I viewed myself as a failure. Suicidal thoughts were always a thing I would lay back on. It's just a very hard time to go through by yourself. You can't go through it by yourself, but you can't tell anyone because you feel like if you tell someone, they'll view you very differently, very weirdly. It just sucks because you feel alone. You can't really do much with it. Rely on negative things to kind of relax your mind, whether it's drugs, decision making. And unfortunately, I was one of those people. Told myself that taking drugs or self-harming were the answer. I was completely wrong. Those weren't the answers. I regret it to this day. Depression still creeps up on me, so that there are times where I can't sleep at night. There are times where I feel hopeless. There are times where I can't go through a day without feeling worthless. And it affects the people around me.
In my experience, for a very short amount of time, I've recently lost somebody very dear to me, and that has been a very strong figure in my life. It's not something I like talking about because it's something that I don't like dealing with, and it's something that I honestly haven't been able to overcome. It kills me inside. Yes, it hurts to know that I'm not going to be able to ever see this person again. Grandpa's looking down on us. He's watching over us, and he's making sure that we're following the right paths that we need to follow. It's not something I like talking about. I just choose not to talk about it, and when I'm ready to talk about it and when I feel comfortable talking about it, I'll be okay to cope with it.
There was a time I was depressed. It was a couple years back, and it affected me traumatically. I mean, at the time, I thought I was doing great. You know, I was going to school full time, working 2-3 jobs, and you know, my girlfriend went to school out of state, so that was, you know, another stressor on my plate. So at that time, it sucks, dude. I just needed someone to talk to or friends to be around. You think more about the negative things, and you don't focus on the great things around you. I know the difference between depression and sadness, and you need support and people around you to get you through it.
Depression is not a joke, though. If you know anyone who has depression, it's better to speak out to them, try to reach out to them, because sometimes people with depression can't talk out on their own. Sometimes people with depression don't want to speak out. It's better for you to go to them and talk to them about it. You know, eventually they'll have to open up. Eventually they will open up. I've come to find better solutions to deal with it, whether it's working out or listening to music or just laying in bed relaxing.
It's hard to tell that you have depression or not.